So yeah, what's with you guys? It's the champ here. What's with a lot of you guys I see? Um, y'all ain't really got no skill or whatever. Nobody taught you guys how to do, work out your shoulders or something, or do shoulder press or something, or some military press. But yeah, I see a lot of these guys nowadays. I see their boxing stance. I see them with their hands low. That's not, I don't know where y'all getting that from, but that's not the correct way, to have your boxing to be in a stance. So everybody out there, keep your hands up. You gotta keep your hands up. If you have a hard time keeping your hands up by the top of your head, learn how to put your hands over your head, literally like this. See this? I catch it and I jab back, bang, look, or at least right here, look, comfortable. Right here, catch it, look, and look, pop, pop, shoot off it, bam, bam, everything else. All right. You gotta know how to throw over the top. You gotta learn how to come over the top. Even if you're going to the body, you still gotta learn how to go over the top from the body as well. You got the lower region, you got the middle region, and you got the top. And definitely need a real good jab. You need a real good solid one too. Good stamina, good combination punches. You need to be able to throw a good, 8-punch combinations without getting tired. Don't matter if it's 2 hooks, 4 crosses, whatever. Jab, hook, always practice jabbing forward. Go forward with your jab. Go backwards with your jab. Footwork. Training wise, if you're practicing, when it comes to pivoting and switching from conventional to southpaw or southpaw to conventional, switch hitters, my advice is this. It's cool when it works. Training wise, there's nothing wrong with putting one day of the week or something and learning how to do that. But the truth is you want to perfect the basics. So you want that natural boxing stance. Pretty much everything you do, it starts from the jab. As you get better and you start your combinations and you're punching with your jab or whatever, right? You start your hook and your uppercut, you bring that into it. You go to the other side and you learn how to lead with your opposite hand or your power hand. And if you want, your lead, you could switch your lead punch from your cross to your jab, or your jab to your cross or whatever. And then you could start a combination with your power hand. So it'd be like a cross, hook, uppercut. Then you could finish it off with a jab, right? Or you could start off with the jab, and then you could cross, hook, uppercut. So you can start off with either hand and practice that. And just like you switch your hand and you lead with the right or lead with the left, you can do the same with your footwork. And now your boxing stance will get a little better. Also, if you really want to build up the base in your boxing stance, you got to squat. You gotta do a lot of squats. Get in that boxing stance and squat. Throw more uppercuts. Uppercuts help build up that base, build that width more, your wind. But yeah, you gotta learn how to practice that too. One of the best ways to do that is to shadow box for a good long time, or you get on the bag and you hit the bag. You know, the more you practice volume, the more combinations and styles you can learn. But if you stick to a specific style or strike or shot, whatever, a specific striking pattern or form, it's pretty much what you got. If you're always working, let's say, just the 1-2 or whatever, or the 1-2-3 or a 4-punch combination, in the pros, most USA pro guys, they learning off of the 8-punch combination. So they pretty much throwing 8 crisp hard shots, and they pretty much throwing some hard shots or whatever. And what else was good? Oh yeah, so you either hit the bag or you shadow box for a good amount of time, get that, build up your volume. You know what I mean? You learn more moves the more time you put in it. But also sparring. You know, if you box a lot, you know, if you're getting good sparring, and there's really no excuses. You know, sparring is the time to practice things. Can't be ashamed to get in there with certain people, and that's when you got to learn to practice and let those things out. But some gyms, some coaches, they spar different. Everybody spars different. Some people, they just box. You know, they don't even take it easy. They take it serious. They take the sparring serious, 100%. Sometimes people go and spar, and they just might work on some things. They might, two guys might just get in there just to show each other something, like, see where each other are at, or to work on a specific combination. And, it's always different. So like I said, my thing when I was young, I would go watch some tape, and if I seen a real good knockout, or I seen somebody doing like a real good move, I would go to the gym and I would apply it. I would execute it. And things get better with time, because when I used to train, I used to think I was so good because I knew I had a lot of power and I was smart and I had basic knowledge, but you never stop learning, to be honest. And my inside game, I think, is a lot better than a lot of other. I feel like at heavyweight, I throw more punches than any other heavyweight, and I feel like my inside game is really good. My dirty boxing, my inside in the pocket, and then the outside, the same thing, the speed and the high volume. A lot of punches I got. People they underestimate my reach, man, and I got large size hands. I got large size feet. It's easy for me it's easy for me to stop these guys. They never been hit by something like me, you know? They think I'm just a good-looking young face. And when I get in there with that southpaw stance, you know, and then been training since I was super young, so my conditioning is really good. My strength and conditioning is just, you know, like I said, when I was 15, 14, I was already about 160, and I was already sparring grown men. And pretty much they was seeing my power, and ain't nobody wanted to get in there with me. They all were saying I was better than Tyson, everything. And one thing I noticed when I was younger, I knew I could beat most guys. I knew the experienced guys would be the ones that give me trouble. And I started realizing when I was young, I was like, yo, all right, you're doing that. You're really good. And you're doing that thing that Tyson's doing. You're in great shape. You started young. You know what you're doing. You're able to take these guys out. And I'm knocking out all these people. But in my mind, I was like, how can I be better than this guy? Because I don't want to fall into his trap where people start getting into my life and try to, you know, pretty much derail what I'm working on. So what I did was I kept training, but at a certain point I said, what's the point of me staying at heavyweight for so long and nobody's willing to compete with me? Nothing. I said, if I lose some weight, they gonna think I'm probably losing it, giving up or something, but they'll have to, you know, people are weak-minded, man. When they losing, they easy to get you away with them. See, they always see me winning and stuff. I was like, you know what? Let me start cutting some weight and seeing if I could get back in the gym with some of these guys. Maybe you know, if I tell them, hey, I lost some weight, come on, I weigh just as much as you, they can't say no. So I did that, and it was just too easy. I just dominated. Too easy, you know. Like I said, these guys, they have trouble against opponents when they in there. Me, I just dominate. Literally just dominate. And so the reason why I cut the weight was because I knew if I kept all that weight on me, the only person I was going against was myself. And I was like, yo, with this type of skill right now, I'm southpaw. They thought Tyson was good with the right. You know, I'm really the righty deep down. I'm the one who got it right. And it's like I knew I was better. I'm younger. I'm lifting way more weights, benching 500, squatting 600 plus, deadlifting 500 plus, leg pressing over 1,000, shoulder pressing over 325. You know, just doing a lot of stuff I knew people really couldn't do. And then on top of that, box and trade and still be motivated and hungry enough to go in the gym. So when I noticed people were really scared of me around, you know, I just, like I said, I kept training, kept testing myself, pushing myself, maxing out every other week, every month, whatever, every day. Just maxing out with the weights, maxing out with the boxing, looking for other people, grown men. And once I started cutting the weight, I knew what the reason. It's like muscle memory. My body knew what I was. It knows like what I'm capable of. So when I cut the weight, it didn't anger me, but in a sense, it made me realize how much better of an athlete I am compared to everybody else, because I literally had to cut weight to allow people to kind of, you know, to be able to compete with me. So like I said, when we got into sparring, I just realized it's just too easy. You know, it's like, I'm just gonna beat these guys. I'm able to counter them. They don't have enough power. They don't have the reach, the size. I'm fuller than them. Even at 168, I'm still really good. And I started noticing too that a lot of the heavyweights that boxing, pretty much some of the guys that they be working with and looking for, and these guys, they be pimping some people out. And I started noticing that these heavyweights weren't really that good. I was like, yo, these guys don't got no history. You know, you see them with some amateur matches, and they're in these little quick shows and all this stuff, and they build up their records or whatever. You know, but that's low key to me. That's fake boxing. You know, you get somebody, you let them beat people that you know that can't beat them. You're not learning anything. You might be confident because you're like, oh, I actually did something, but deep down in the brain knows you ain't go against somebody that was really good or somebody who could actually beat you. And when I was young, I felt that vibe. Like, that was the thing that used to bother me. Like, I don't want to not put myself through it because I don't want to gain it and have people say, oh, you didn't do this, or you didn't challenge yourself. So like I said, when I was young, I wanted to go against all the bigger guys. Every new person in the gym, they cannot lie and say I never challenged them or asked them to box. Every person I ever worked with, any business, cannot lie and say I didn't ask the best person or whoever was the person around at that time if they wanted to work. So like I said, that's one of the main ways to really know where your skills is at, is work with people. They don't want to work with you 9 times out of 10 because you're too good. And sometimes if they don't want to work with you, it's because they don't want you to be good. And it's up to you. It's up to you to change that narrative. And like I said, a lot of pros I've been around, been in the gym at the same time. You ask them to work. If they know you're really good, 9 times out of 10, they're going to just make an excuse. They're going to say, oh, I already got something set up, or I got a match coming up. And that's what guys be doing. I got a match coming up every day in my life. Well, you know what I mean? You don't hear me telling people that, oh, I can't box you today. I got a match tomorrow. I'm already doing it. You know what I mean? But a lot of these people, they see my success and they try to they try to backdoor the champ, start going to the gym, start talking to the coaches. They start seeing my success. They knew it was coming eventually. And a lot of these guys try to go to the same gym as me, take pictures, but I'm the original. And everybody know that. I'm the original official celebrity boxer, whether they like it or not. You know? When that shit was up, when Damian Feldman and all those people were their first newspaper article, oh, I'm a pro, I had an accident, my back, I'm a, I want to build my own company and start my own. I was that little kid Google searching it, looking at the newspaper, reading it, and I took all that energy and I told my coach, I'm coming for y'all. I said, yep, you heard what I said. I know what y'all doing. I said, if you guys ain't gonna allow me to be an amateur, I'm gonna beat up all these amateurs. You guys ain't gonna let me go pro, I'm gonna beat up all these pros. And I did that. And I told the coach, I said, I might not go pro, I might not go amateur. I was like, y'all might try to, y'all might try to extort me or whatever, or try to downplay my career, try to make me do a celebrity boxing and chalk it up like, oh, that's equivalent to being a pro, and all those good things, all those people I could have went against. And I didn't care. I wasn't scared. I told the coach, I said, look, when y'all hit me up, whenever it is, I started when I was 4. They hit me up like 29 years later to do my debut on Father's Day. And did I chicken out? Did I say no? I knew they didn't want me to win. Was I scared? Did it weaken my mind? Did it make me want to give up? No. I was ready for them. They wasn't ready for me. They thought I was going to say no. They thought I wasn't going to show up. They thought they were going to take my money. They thought they were going to take my registration fee. They thought they were going to take a picture with somebody else getting their hand raised, make me feel bad. They were going to edit the video and try to make it look like I lost. What I do, I was smart. And I communicated. I know how to conversate, and I got my video, and I got the proof, and everybody could see everything. Everybody could see me looking good, keeping my word. If I would have boxed anybody else that day, I would have won that too. Straight up, anybody else would have been in there that day, and I would have won that thing easily. Didn't even have to show up full heavyweight. I mean, I was in great shape, though. I cut weight. I made sure my weight was a little bit down because I knew I was going against a nobody. I didn't want to kill the guy too bad and, celebrity deathmatch, guts and brains and spines and bones explode on the cameras and all that. So, and I wanted to send him through the ropes. I really wanted to put him through the ropes, to be honest. And, we got there, hit him a couple times. He had to hold on for dear life. His coach got up on the ring crying and quitting, pretty much giving up. You're telling somebody they can't do something when they're doing it, I mean, proves you're losing. Proves, you're just lying. Coaches, they should know better. And especially somebody who's pretending to be a coach, pretending to be a real boxer, you guys should know better about playing around. This ain't no game around here. And like I said, anybody would have gone against me, even now, today, tomorrow, whatever. I'm gonna beat y'all. I'm gonna beat whoever it is. I'm gonna get you good. But I'm ready. I'm smarter than y'all. I don't care about you fighters and all that, you prize fighters. I'm going after the bosses, the ones who think they could call me out. I don't care about any of these names no more. Never did, really. But the reason why I did the one match is just to prove a point. I did that one just to prove a point. They try to weasel their way to trying to hope that I take it easy on somebody. It's just not gonna work, man. I don't care about y'all. Never did. That's why I would go home, study more boxing. I wasn't just gonna listen to you guys, listening to other people, listening to myself, God, me, following, really living up to my name, proving I'm number one, proving y'all talk about my name the most. And like I said, go to the gym. I was super young, and I'm able to remember names. You can't go grab a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, or a 9-year-old, whatever it was. Go grab one of them. Put some Hall of Fame boxers around them, and you tell me if they could figure out their names without nobody telling them their names, without nobody saying, "Oh, this is Daryl, this is Jose," this is Mario, this is Bazooka, this is Case, this is Damian Felton. No, what I mean? Nobody, nobody can do that. Nobody can remember that right there. I remember that. I was in the ring training with these guys years and years. They never paid me a dime. They never put me on an article, never put me on a newspaper. Sports Illustrated. I thought I was on my way to Sports Illustrated at 9 years old. I was like, I could beat this guy. You know, I seen the way I started reading about him. Daddy helped him, this, that. I'll beat this dude. You know what I mean? He got one parent disabled. I got two parents disabled. You know, these 1-2s are going to be way more better than his 1-2s. That's how I'm looking at it. What you going to do? Who you know got a good 1-2? Bring them over here. That's how it goes. When I was young, people used to always talk about Philly. And I'm sitting here like, man, I know coaches, I box. I know my coaches know Philly. Philly can't with me. Trust me. The way these coaches treat people, if they know they can beat you up, you gonna get beat up, right? You don't see me getting beat up. You don't see me getting no invites to this gym or that gym. To all, you know what I mean? So that should tell you enough. You know, like I said, these coaches, these guys come to the gym, they see somebody like me, and they don't want to box no more. Literally, they literally say that. They be like, yo, I ain't boxing no more. Because they just know. They know what they seen was the best they seen. I see there were so many matches also in boxing where I'm like, man, why didn't they work with me? You know, I see some of these guys going against certain people, and I'm like, wow, they ain't never give me no call up. I would have been good work for that guy. I could have helped him win that match. A couple times. I ain't gonna get into the names, but top guys too. A lot of top guys. I'm like, wow, this dude, I know he know who I am. He ain't hit me up to work. But I see why southpaws are more dominant than conventional. I'll tell you the honest truth, y'all. You know, one thing, a lot of you guys can't stop the habit of throwing a lazy body shot. You guys throw lazy body shots. And y'all don't throw enough punches. And even some of the heavyweights or some of the stronger guys that got power, y'all got power, but you don't got accuracy and you don't got stamina. So your power really ain't nothing, because within 2 seconds, like what you think you got 2 milliseconds and you throw as fast as whatever. But in my mind, what I see is it's over for you. You know, not the other way around. Like, you ain't gonna be successful because, like I said, most guys that do build up power, and the way these coaches got it all set up and shit, it's like y'all beat people y'all supposed to beat. And if you guys went against tough people that were good enough to go in there with you, you pretty much are looking to damage yourself over time. You go against, you know, tough guy after tough guy, eventually, you know, y'all both gonna end up damaging each other. You put a real good guy against a guy who ain't good, well, the good guy's just gonna damage the other guy, and that's it. The other guy ain't gonna be doing it for a long time, getting his ass whipped, right? So that's why they try to save these fighters, in a sense, where they try to keep guys on a roll and then put top guys against each other. But by then, mentally, fighting all these nobodies, these top guys end up not putting in the performance that they really should have in the beginning, because they was already groomed to taking it easy. So really, a lot of these guys ain't really giving you their best, because these promoters and these coaches don't allow them to go in there at their best. You know what I'm saying? Your coach look at you and be like, dang, this dude a 190 pounder. But for some odd reason, he like, oh, that you win when you're at 190, right? I'm just throwing out numbers. So they want you to lose. So they're like, let's try to get you to 150. You know, and they really think that that's funny or something. Like, that's not cool. Like, what you do that to your kids? You want me to do that to your kids? Tell them to be anorexic or tell them to be obese? You know, you're supposed to want your guys at the healthiest, at they you know, when they healthy and they the strongest, smartest, you know. You guys, a lot of you guys out there, you gotta watch out for these coaches. They try to belittle you, low key. These promoters, even these people, these business people, they try to get other people to work along them. They try to caress people to thinking your image you ain't a good person, your character, your image. They want people to think they're in control of you. And that's not, you know, when you're defending yourself, you don't want people in control. You want